Next item of business is a cross-committee debate on the People's Panel report on reducing drug harm and deaths in Scotland. I would invite those members who would wish to speak in the debate. Please press the request to speak buttons, and I call on Claire Haughey on behalf of the Health, Social Care and Sport Committee to open the debate. Around 7 minutes, please.
I would now turn to focus on specific points raised in the report most pertinent to the Health Committee's remit. The panel heard that many people are either unwilling to access support due to fears of discrimination, criminalisation or general unwillingness to burden services which may not be equipped to respond.
And I am going to focus on the panel's recommendations on lived experience and tackling stigma. It is clear from the panel's report that trusting and consistent relationships are essential to helping people who use drugs to access the advice, support and treatment they need.
I know in this Parliament every member believes every individual who has lost their life through drug dependency is a loss before their time. And it must always be remembered that behind every statistic is a friend or family member who have lost a loved one. And I pay tribute to all the friends and families who campaign across Scotland on this issue.
And I thank all of those who have participated in the debate this afternoon. It's clear that there is consensus across the chamber that we need to act, and that consensus is welcome. When I was on the Smith Commission representing the Scottish Greens, we were the only party calling for drugs policy to be devolved to the Scottish Parliament. Over the past decade, the need for that devolution has grown horribly evident. In its absence, for now, we must do what we can, and I thank the People's Panel again for illuminating the path ahead. In this debate, members have spoken of the report's recommendations, of their urgency in relation to particular issues and places, and of the ways in which those recommendations can and must be made a reality. It is heartening to hear the clear agreement from across the chamber that the panel's report must be a catalyst for action. Because, as the panel made clear, we have been here before. In 2019, the Dundee Drugs Commission published its first report, responding to drug use with kindness, compassion and hope. That report focused on key areas: the need for strong leadership and accountability, for cultural change that eliminates stigma, for including those with lived and living experiences in delivering
the UK's first safer consumption facility, working with the Home Office to deliver drug checking facilities, the first national naloxone programme rollout. I don't think we can take these successes for granted, but I'm also not complacent about the need to do more. And so I, of course, understand the desire to see more coming through, and I will absolutely commit us to doing that as we continue to assess the efficacy of the national mission thus far and what comes next.
Oh, I swear this stuff fucks me off. Honestly, it fucks me royally off. And I've always given the government, which is a rarity as far as I'm concerned, the benefit of the doubt. That said, so, you know, what we will do to tackle drug deaths in Scotland is to apparently reduce the stigma. And on top of that, just open up like drug consumption rooms. Like, it's not the government's fault if somebody dies of an overdose. It's not the government's fault if somebody commits suicide. It's not the government's fault if somebody dies via alcohol-related health issues and or whatever the case may be, or a combination or a factor of whatever. But the problem is the government have taken it upon themselves to insinuate that they are going to solve these issues, which kind of prize position to be lambasted and harangued. And I mean, if that is the best that you've got to offer, then I'm sorry to tell you, you're just full of shit, quite frankly. And as far as drugs is concerned, before I go any further on this, let me share the screen, right? So, Scotland's drug deaths still worse than Europe after 12% rise. Okay, this was from the 20th of August 2024. National Records of Scotland data for 2023 revealed that over 1,000 plus people had died, up 121 in the previous 12 months. And very recently, in fact, not that long ago, the Salvation Army is, this is from the 12th of March, 2025, right? The Salvation Army is calling for an increase in specialist support to tackle drug and alcohol use in Scotland after new statistics revealed that more than 1,000 people are suspected to have died from drug use in 2024. And all you hear from the Scottish Government time and time again is their fucking pish about some sort of national mission, as I'm saying. They've put themselves into the crosshairs of any critics out there with this bollocks. Suspected drug deaths in Scotland, October to December 2024. The Rainbow Unicorn Government, let me get in there a bit. The Rainbow Unicorn Government has a national mission to reduce drug deaths. Well, you're doing a very good fucking job of that, aren't you? You're doing a very good job. And it's not just drug deaths, so this is what annoys me. This is what annoys me, because all the stuff, it's multifaceted, okay? And by the way, let me just stress for the record here, I am not a spokesperson for, like, people that are heroin addicts and or meth addicts, etc. But I have been a drug addict, right? As well as an alcoholic in the past, albeit I would probably classify myself as some sort of like a binge drinker as opposed to an alcoholic, or maybe, you know, a functioning alcoholic. But regardless of that fact, I've been there, right? But it's not just fucking drugs, is it? No, it's not. We've also got suicides, right? Suicide rate has increased in Scotland last year, figures have shown, right? Probable deaths by suicide increased in 2023, with those from the poorest communities 2.5 times more likely to die by suicide, official data has shown. Figures published by the NRS, or National Records of Scotland, show that there were 792 deaths recorded as probable suicides last year, an increase of 30 from 2022. Okay, so we don't have like the most up-to-date figures as of yet, but regardless, it says right fucking there, 2024. Okay, so there's that. There is that. Or we could talk about the alcohol deaths. This is in spite of the SNP, you know, banging up minimum unit pricing yet again, claiming it saves lives. Yeah, Scottish alcohol deaths at a 15-year high. Great job, guys. Really doing it properly, aren't you? Again, you put yourself in the crosshairs. What do you expect? What do you expect? But this bullshit about stigma, this bullshit. Yeah, come on to fucker. It's a multifaceted issue, unfortunately, and I don't necessarily think it's the sort of thing the government, big daddy government, can come in and save the day in relation to, right? I think that these people, myself included at times in the past, are products of society, which is the irony in many respects, because our society and or our environment has been created by the very governments, plural, in question, who insinuate that they're going to save the day. This is the fucking problem that we are living in now. This is the fucking problem. You know, what have we got here? Let me see. So, in relation to, this is the Scottish Government's suicide prevention strategy. Okay. Despite the fact suicides continue to rise, but you know, they've got a couple of things. They've got Breathing Space, which is Scotland's mental health helpline. They've got the Samaritans. They've got NHS's mental health hub. They've got Childline, right? And then they've got the acknowledgements. Many people have contributed to the development of this strategy and its associated action plan, without whom we would not have been able to develop such an ambitious and collaborative approach to suicide prevention. Yet they continue to rise. Yeah? It is. It's... I'm fucking sick to death of how patronising it's becoming. Like, seriously, it's patronising bullshit. To think that people take drugs, people drink, or people feel suicide or they're struggling with their mental health, and the only reason they don't seek help is because of stigma. Oh, so if we just reduce the stigma, things would be different. It's just a fucking joke. It's a joke. You know, for example, see months ago, right? I referred myself to Osprey House. I know it's back to front. I phoned them up. Fucking what, October time, right? They got back to me a couple of weeks later, and told me that I didn't fit the criteria. So they referred me somewhere else, which admittedly, the people that I did get referred to were pretty good. Simultaneously, I spoke to the doctor, the GP, and I got put in a waiting list because I tried to refer myself for mental health. Okay? I said to them, the receptionist at the time, that I wanted to be referred to New Craigs, which is a sort of, it's an institution in Inverness for people struggling with mental health. I wanted to get put there. Right, so, you'll need to speak to the GP. Right, so I got put in a fucking waiting list. Okay? Right, bear in mind, this was like early October. I had this conversation. I then in turn ended up getting my appointment on the phone with the GP in November, and I didn't meet the criteria. It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke. And they wonder why so many people slip through the cracks. They wonder why so many people end up in the positions that they end up in. Maybe, just fucking maybe, the people, as I said, who pretend that they're going to solve all of your problems are the fucking cunts that created them in the first place.